Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you join me today as we take a ride starting in dystopia and then winding it up in clown world. Just when you think you know a guy, I think we all know who Jim Jordan is. He is the U.S. Rep for Ohio's 4th Congressional District since 2007, well known for being one of President Trump's biggest advocates. Here's a quick refresher.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for your leadership. I think most of you know that Chairman Schiff has prevented the witness from answering certain questions we have during the deposition. One of the things you do in these depositions is you ask the basics: who, what, when, where, why. You ask those questions. When we asked the whistleblower who he spoke to after important events in July, Adam Schiff says, no, we're not going to let him answer that question.
Well, many of you may not know that Jim Jordan was actually a wrestler for Ohio State. He went on to be assistant wrestling coach at Ohio State for the wrestling program from 1987 to 1995. Now, this isn't new news, but it's news I hadn't heard. So if you have, just hang around because you're not going to want to miss the end of this video. Let me ask you, did every high school and university have a pervy boys coach? Because I know at my high school we did. We had, and I'm not going to say his name because he's still alive, but it was just well known. It was well known that this guy, and I don't know the details, nobody ever shared the details, but you knew that he was less than couth with the boys in the locker room. Well, apparently at Ohio State, it wasn't the coaches, it was actually the doctor that I'm sure did the physical therapy, etc., took care of the team on the field. And his name was Dr. Strauss, and he worked for Ohio State from 1978 through 1996. And during this period of time, he was reported to have abused more than 177 students. And this is where Jim Jordan comes in, because apparently there are many students claiming that he was well aware of what was happening and didn't say anything. And it goes way beyond that. You'll see in this clip.
Republican Congressman Jim Jordan tonight facing a new accusation that he ignored warnings about an Ohio State University doctor accused of sexually abusing nearly 200 men over 2 decades. In a lawsuit filed Thursday, a college wrestling referee named as John Doe 42 says in the mid-90s he told Jordan, then Ohio State's assistant wrestling coach, that the team's physician, Richard Strauss, performed a sex act in front of him in a shower. The referee says Jordan and the team's then head coach shrugged it off, responding, "Yeah, that's Strauss." The referee and his attorney declined to be interviewed on camera.
Everybody talked about Strauss.
Former Ohio State wrestler Dunyasha Yates also says he complained directly to Jim Jordan after he says Strauss once tried to pull his pants down.
I had told him, hey, this is not right.
Yates, who's not part of the latest lawsuit, says Jordan failed to address it. Jordan has previously denied having any knowledge of the abuse, saying the allegations that he was told about it are politically motivated. His office did not respond to our request for comment. The lawsuit comes as House Republican leaders today named Jordan to the House Intelligence Committee, giving Jordan, known as President Trump's most aggressive defender, a more prominent role in the committee's public impeachment hearings. Tonight, OSU called Strauss's actions reprehensible, adding it has implemented multiple additional safeguards in the 20 years since Strauss left the university. Strauss died by suicide in 2005, his horrifying legacy raising new questions about what should have been done to stop him. Jeff Bennett, NBC News, the Capitol.
Well, as you can see, the university went on to pay 162 survivors a total of $40.9 million, and their attorneys actually thought that this was well below what should have been paid. And you have to understand, I'm a big Jim Jordan fan, but that's a lot of people coming forward. And, I guess I can understand he was a young guy. He didn't know exactly how to deal with this. And, he was probably in fear for his job. Not to mention, it was a totally different climate back in the 70s and 80s. Lots of hazing going on, and it was just the norm. It's what the guys did. So I can see where there might have been some blurred lines back then. But being involved in trying to cover this up is a whole nother story.
Jim Jordan called me crying, groveling on the 4th of July, begging me to go against my brother. Begging me. Crying for a half hour. That's the kind of cover-ups that's going on there. Jim Jordan called me several times after that. That week, I had to have my lawyer call him, tell him to stop calling me. I had a teammate, George Pardos, I called and told him, call Jim Jordan and tell him to quit calling me or I'm going to beat his ass. He's throwing us under the bus, all of us. He's a coward. He's a coward. He's not a leader. He's a coward. I'm a leader. I was captain of these guys. That's why I'm here. I would never abandon my team. He abandoned us. Our head coach abandoned us. He's flipped his story. He called other people to flip their story. He called Mark Holcomb to flip his story. He called his parents, 90 years old. That's the kind of person Jim Jordan is.
Now, this happened back in May of 2020, and I haven't heard anything about any fallout, and that makes me suspicious. That makes me curious because we know that the Democrats will seize on anything, I mean anything, and try to make it, an end of the world scenario. So how did I not hear about this, and how is this just being let go? I don't know. But moving on, it's time for Clown World, what you've all been waiting for. So today we feature the king and queen of Clown World, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Or did I get that backwards?
7 weeks from today, Democrats hope to elect the Biden-Harris ticket. Or is it the other way around?
A Harris administration together with Joe Biden as the President of the United States.
That slip raised eyebrows, but it was made again today by Biden himself.
Harris-Biden administration is going to relaunch that effort.
Did it. We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next President of the United States.
We did it, Joe. You're going to be the next president of the United States. Seriously, is she drunk?
I took it to instill public confidence in the vaccine. President-elect Harris took hers today for the same reason. That speed and efficiency must be matched with fairness and equity. Now, when President Harris and I took a virtual tour of a vaccination center in Arizona not long ago.
This is not an accident. This is not an accident. This would explain a lot about why things are happening at the White House the way they're happening, but you cannot tell me for 1 second that this is not already a done deal. Okay, so that wasn't an accident, but this, I believe, was an accident. And oh my God, are we in Clown World? Are we in some freaking strange alternate reality that this man is our president? Oh, please.
I'm having chest pain.